So, okay, well, we'll put that in there. And then when you're doing those, if you want, like I said, 6 questions usually makes an hour. So when you're doing your call, what you want to do is you want to basically see where everything is segueing. And if question number 1 and then goes into question number 2, but then all of a sudden that's a perfect lead for question number 5, then go into question number 5.
You don't want to talk about plowing and then harvest.
Yeah, because you don't want the guy saying. Yeah, so what we did is we implemented that, and the next thing we saw was a 600% conversion on this. Great. What I wanted to ask you next was about your advertising budget. It doesn't flow at all. If you got to bring that into the next, to 3 questions later, but
Absolutely.
Those are the things that I've seen, like, sometimes go a little weird on a teleseminar. It's like somebody's fixed to this cue card with notes, and
But I just want to. Oh, go ahead, Tom.
I was just going to say, as important as all that is, like your first couple teleseminars, they're probably going to suck. And it's okay if you botch one up, or you have a little bit of silence, or you botch 10 of them up, or whatever. I mean,
when I first started
you're choppy, you're nervous, you're picking up the phone, it's falling down because your hands are sweaty, whatever. It's okay. You do a few of them, and then you can start kicking butt.
A lot of times that I've done a lot as well is make sure you deliver on your call what you promised on the squeeze page, because we're going to give you the 2 biggest mistakes people make or whatever, but sometimes the call just goes in a different direction, and then the people just start contacting you like, hey, you never gave me the 2 biggest mistakes that people make when they're starting. Oh wow, we didn't. So be cognizant of what you promised, because people sign up and sometimes they're just waiting through that whole call, and there's a big difference between overpromise and underdeliver, and underpromise and overdeliver. And
you get them over the hook, they gotta have the payoff somewhere.
Well, we told them to print the page. They're looking at it.
I don't know how common this is, but it's what I go through, so maybe it's worth mentioning. Is I keep thinking Abbott and Costello, right? When people are new on the phone, I am so Costello, like out there, go off in 12 different directions. If I do not have an Abbott, the straight guy, to keep me in line, the call just sucks. I mean, it's just not good. So if you look at it as if the people that you're working with, if you get the right personality, or if you look at it as a team going at the experts, so if you're just out there and you find yourself going off on tangents, and you find somebody to work with that's organized, and that's like a whole other DVD about having the organized against your creative mind. That's a whole other thing. But maybe working together with somebody who kind of mirrors your strengths and weaknesses is worth getting.
Well, on that same line of thinking, every time I've actually gotten on the phone with somebody before a call to talk to them, like the day before or an hour before the call, so I have an idea what their personality is, or where they segue, or their speech patterns. It's always a much better call.
Yeah, you never want to meet them on the phone.
Because sometimes you get on the phone and people can tell that you don't know who you're talking to. It's the first time on the line.
So
and yeah, I mean, even if it's just a 15-minute, hey, this is me, this is what we're going to talk about, let's introduce each other, blah, blah, blah.
Call your guest by the wrong name, I think.
Real quick, there's a distinction with teleseminars too we need to make. There's 2 types. There's one where you're selling whatever, and there's one where you're creating content, and you usually don't sell on those ones. The ones that you're selling the ones we usually do are about 60 minutes long. You begin with the introduction, you teach like 50 minutes of content, and then you sell something to the last. The ones you're teaching something, these are the ones that are usually like 90 minutes to 2 hours, where you're just answering question after question after question, and then those ones you're selling stuff. For example, when we did our affiliate boot camp, we did probably 10 different teleseminars with list owners, where we got on the list on the phone with their list, sold the whole thing, and then everyone paid the $1,000. They joined. We got all these people into the door, and then we went and said, okay, now here's the content, and then we said, teleseminar number 1. And the way I teach my things, we do really modular learning. So like module 1 is this, module 2 is this, and before each call we say, okay, module 1, what are your questions? And then we get all the people submitting their questions, and then we go, and I'd go whoever we're interviewing or whoever is teaching, and we'd go through it, and we teach for 2 hours in module 2. And first we deliver it just like that as an 8-week teleseminar series, and then we go back afterwards, take the recordings, and turn it into a physical product and sell it again.
Now, let's make a point about physical stuff. I mean, you can make a lot of money with physical products, and there are a ton of people in the room that have done it. I don't sell a lot of physical products. We just did this with weight loss for marketers. Same concept, right? And it's not physical. We're still selling it for $300. We're still doing joint ventures with people from live teleseminars. You know, we're in the process of rolling the exact same model out right now with all sorts of marketers, with people that want to lose weight on their list. So it's the same principle.
Some markets are going to call for physical, some are going to call for digital. I could assume like stockbroking and seminar and everything like that. It's going to have to be wrapped up real well and put on DVD and stuff like that. So that's something that's going to be different for each market. So you'd have to test it and see which one has better conversions, better refund rates. But it's good to point out, like Jeff said, if you did want to do a physical product, where could you go?
Yep.
And Jeff Walker mentioned disc.com, DISK.com.